What's happening guys, Chris here with another Overwatch hero guide for you today, and in this one I'll be taking a look at the sniper support character Ana, going over all of those abilities and how to use them properly, with a bunch of tips and tricks thrown in there too. So Ana, being a support hero, has the job of supplying other players with health, allowing them to stay in the fight for longer. She's a sniper and is fairly vulnerable in close quarter combat scenarios. This might mean that she's better suited for staying away from hectic battles and keeping in more of a defensive state, supplying health and dealing damage from afar. Though those abilities could be used offensively too, keeping allies in the battle and aiding them when taking over objectives. Ana has 200 health, which is on par with most of the other heroes, and a difficulty rank of 3 stars to reflect her ease of use, as you're gonna have to be accurate to heal your allies and cause some damage too. And if those abilities are used at the right times, they can be extremely useful for your team, but at the wrong times and they'll probably go to waste. So who is Ana? Well, along with being Pharah's mum, Ana was one of the founding members of Overwatch, an elite sniper who originally worked to defend and support the people of Egypt during the Omnic crisis. Ana served as Soldier 76's second in command for years, and refused to step away from combat despite growing older. Though she was thought to have been killed by Widowmaker during a mission, she survived the encounter but lost her right eye and decided to stop fighting and stay out of the world's conflicts. But as time went on, she couldn't resist getting back into the action after seeing the world decay and knowing that she could still help protect the innocent and allies from current threats. Anyway, the main weapon that you'll be using whilst playing as Ana is the Biotic Rifle, which is essentially a sniper rifle that heals teammates and damages enemies. The dart shot out from the rifle will cause 80 damage to an enemy when both scoped in and hip fired, though it'll heal 75 health to any allies it hits too. The sniper can fire a shot roughly once per second, but won't deal any extra damage or health when going for those headshots. So it's best going for body shots when using the rifle, as they're easier to land and the dart is more likely to connect with the other player. With the gun holding a total of 8 shots per reload, you'll have to decide how to use those shots more so than with other weapons, as you have the choice to both cause harm to the opposing team or heal your teammates that are engaging enemies. But however you choose to use those darts, you're gonna have to be accurate and land those shots for them to be effective. Mid to long range is usually where Ana works best, being able to stay at a safe distance from hostile players, or whilst being able to support your team from afar. Scoping in will provide a better level of zoom, which is going to be more beneficial at those longer ranges, though it will reduce your vision around the edges of your screen, giving you less awareness of flanking players and the rest of your surroundings. This means that whenever enemies get too close for the sniper's scope to do much justice, hip firing the darts is usually the best way to hit them, and in close distance firefights, hip firing will give you better spatial awareness, along with those shots being a tad easier to land. This is also useful for when healing nearby teammates too, as the darts will usually be easy to land when hip fired up close, helping to top up players' health that are at a closer distance. The properties of the darts do change slightly depending on how the gun is fired though. When scoped in, the dart is a hit scan shot, meaning it'll instantly hit whatever you're aiming at as soon as you pull down that trigger. Whereas a hip fired shot on the other hand considers the dart to be a fast moving projectile instead. With that said, the velocity of the Biotic Rifle darts is still pretty quick, and unlike Hanzo's bow, the darts will travel through the air at a fairly speedy rate, meaning you won't have to lead moving targets too much when hip firing. Generally, when using the sniper to be an effective team player, you're best using it to heal first and cause damage second. Healing allies will not only keep them in the fight for longer and push the enemies back, but it's also going to help to keep you alive for longer too, as your teammates are going to draw attention away from yourself, with them being the obvious targets to go for in the middle of the chaos. Shooting at enemies is best for when your teammates have all of their health, and when you want to take out players at objective points, or when dealing with other long range attackers like Widowmaker and Hanzo, along with stationary targets like Bastion Sentry and Torbjorn's Turret. Tank characters are usually the easiest targets to both heal and damage, down to their hitboxes being larger, and these can often be better to aim for if you're struggling with landing shots on other players. Obviously you're still going to have to hit everyone to be as helpful as you can, but if there's a lot of tank characters on your team, Ana is usually a good pick, as it's generally easier to heal them than the other characters. Though if you're still having trouble aiming and hitting teammates to recover their health, you could always coordinate your actions by telling them via mic to stop moving and hide around a corner so you can hit them and get their health back. Another tool that Ana has that affects both allies and hostiles is the Biotic Grenade. This is a bomb with a small area of effect that has different properties depending on who it's used on. To be accurate with the grenade, it's usually best aiming for your target's feet so that the bomb will go off and they'll get caught by that splash effect. allies and yourself hit by the grenade will heal 100 HP instantly, and receive 100% healing bonus from other healing sources for 5 seconds. So not only is this a great quick way to boost health to a cluster of teammates all at once, but it's also good for keeping yourself in the battle too, as unlike other support heroes like Mercy and Lucio, you can't gain your health back naturally over time with passive abilities. The temporary healing bonus supplied by the grenade will boost up small health packs around the map significantly. It'll make Soldier 76's Biotic Field and Roadhog's Take a Breather ability more effective, plus it'll allow other support heroes such as Lucio to heal injured characters quicker, meaning it works really well with other healers on your team too. As a quick way to heal tank characters yourself, you can use the Biotic Grenade on them and fire multiple shots at them from your sniper whilst the healing bonus is active, and this will get them back up to full health much quicker than before. It's a really useful ability for healing yourself and allies, but when used on enemies, its mechanics reverse, making the Biotic Grenade handy for a variety of different situations. Enemies hit by the grenade will take 60 damage, and be unable to heal for 5 seconds. They'll be highlighted in purple, and it'll pretty much stop any healing from the enemy support heroes and other sources, leaving them without a backup plan. If you can see an enemy character being healed by Mercy or Lucio, hitting them with a grenade will prevent this healing and make it much harder for them to stay alive. Any heroes that can self-heal, like Roadhog and Bastion, won't be able to temporarily, leaving them much more vulnerable to attack. Chucking a Biotic Grenade in the middle of a chaotic battle where there's multiple allies and enemies can often be a good thing to do, as both the healing and damaging effects can work on anyone caught within the bomb's area of effect, both doing damage, boosting health, and making other support characters more and less effective, depending on what team they're on. Because the Biotic Grenade nullifies healing, this can also be used to completely counter Zenyatta's ultimate ability, as anyone caught by the grenade won't be able to take advantage of his ultimate whilst it's in effect. So as for another ability, Ana can use Sleep Darts, which literally knocks out enemies for 5 seconds. It does 5 damage, which probably isn't going to kill anyone, unless they're extremely low on health, but it can be used as more of an escape tactic to prevent attackers from causing damage up close, and let you retreat and gain some distance. An affected enemy will be woken up after 5 seconds, or if they take any damage, so although you can shoot them whilst they're down, to finish off an already weakened enemy, it can often be better to put them to sleep and allow teammates to come and back you up. There's a short delay for the sleep dart to be fired, and you'll have to be pinpoint accurate in order to hit someone, so it's usually best used at close ranges as it'll be easier to hit targets at these shorter distances. The sleep dart is very effective when used against flanking tank characters, down to the hitboxes being so large, making the dart easier to land, and down to them requiring a lot more damage to take out. So putting them to sleep will allow you to escape from them nice and easy, which is very helpful for when Reinhardt comes swinging his hammer at you in CQC. It's also a great ability to use to shut down heroes acting ultimate abilities, such as McCree's Deadeye, Farah's Barrage, Roadhog's Whole Hog, Soldier 76's Tactical Visor, along with loads of other abilities too. Using the Sleep Dart against Bastion whilst he's in sentry form will also allow teammates to advance on his position and attack from behind, and when used on Torbjorn, it'll prevent him from repairing his turret and from using Molten Core, making it easier for you and your team to destroy his turret and advance on the objective. Now as for Ana's ultimate ability, this comes in the form of Nano Boost, which doesn't let you deal damage directly, but instead provide a huge buff to a single teammate temporarily. Once activating the Nano Boost on a nearby teammate, they'll gain a 50% damage buff, 50% damage reduction, and 30% movement speed increase for 8 seconds. It's best used on a player that isn't about to die, as they won't gain any health from the Nano Boost, and although they'll receive less damage, they can still be killed whilst it's active. The Nano Boost is perfect on aggressive characters and tanks, as the affected player has the potential to wipe out entire teams if used at the right time. Reinhardt, Winston and D.Va will all benefit a lot from the added speed boost and higher damage, as the Nano Boost will make them a much bigger threat. When combined with some ultimate abilities such as Reaper's Death Blossom, Genji's Dragon Blade and Soldier's Tactical Visor, the Nano Boost can be devastating, as you'll allow your teammate to stay alive whilst using their ability, with the extra maneuverability and damage reducing bonus, all whilst giving them extra damage to kill quicker, making a lot of ultimate abilities even stronger than they would be before. Coordinating attacks via headsets and using team tactics like this can allow you to destroy opposing teams, take objectives, push back multiple opponents at once and even win matches, providing you can time your Nano Boosts well with your teammates' attacks. So generally Ana is best used at mid to long ranges to mainly heal allies, but sniper enemies too whenever your team doesn't need healing. Hip firing is usually better kept for close quarters, and can be an easy way to top up health to nearby players. You'll have to be accurate whenever using Ana, as both the sniper and sleep dart require you to be on target to be used effectively. She's a great hero to pick in combination with other support heroes, as you can boost their healing abilities with those Biotic Grenades. And if you're playing with a few tank characters, Ana is also a good option to pick, being able to keep them in the fight easily from a distance. Decent amounts of damage can be dealt from the Biotic Rifle whenever you need to, but remember that you are a support character and should use those healing abilities as much as you can, to keep allies in the battle and allow your team to push enemies back to achieve victory. So that's just about it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the guide, give us a like, and check out loads of other Overwatch guides on my channel, and subscribe if you like what's there. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.
Take your medicine.